I've been blabbing on about how internal combustion engine vehicles being noisy, that kind of thing, how that noise is synonymous, it's becoming synonymous with slow. Well, motorsport has just been embarrassed by a few students who put together essentially a homemade electric car and just destroyed the world of motorsport. And I'm serious, this is not clickbait. I mean, Goodwood Festival of Speed, some of the most iconic race cars have been driven at that track, and all of them just got beaten in one fell swoop by who knows? No one even knows who these people are. Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking, great to see you. My name is Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from a pretty cold Melbourne, Australia. It's 6 a.m. here in the morning and I got to turn my heater back on because it's starting to get a bit chilly. But you know what? I'm still excited because I love when the future gives the past a smack in the face and just says, you know what? Yeah, you dyno technology, well, you're finished, you're done. You're gone. I mean, seriously, come on. This is insane. We're talking students put together a car, right? Took it to the Goodwood Festival of Speed and set the all-time record, beat every supercar ever tested, and all on essentially a shoestring budget. If this doesn't prove that the age of the dinosaur engines is over, then I don't know what else does. If you look at the video, right, of this vehicle, it looks like the sped up films we used to see in car chases back 50, 60 years ago, and they'd speed them up to make it kind of look like the cars are going really fast. This is what this looks like, but this is not sped up. This is real life. So it's official. A fully electric car has beaten every car ever driven at the Goodwood Hill Climb track at the Festival of Speed. I know this track very well. I've driven it, I'd say, at least 4,000 to 5,000 times. Seriously, on Gran Turismo. I kid you not. I've raced that little section of track so many times, I know every single corner like the back of my hand. Yeah, I don't know about that phrase, but you get my point, right? This is a historic track. For those of you who don't know, it's an annual gathering and demonstration of racing vehicles in England. The McMurtry Spearling fan car driven by IndyCar and ex-F1 driver Max Chilton set a record of 39.08 seconds on the 1.9 kilometre or 1.16 mile course. That's a second better than the previous record, which is actually a very, very long way. Just getting 1/10 off that time is extremely difficult. To get those time down by 1/10, that's considered a big achievement. Half a second is considered just destroying the record, but they beat this, right, by nearly a second. That is a complete annihilation. Now, the previous record, ironically enough, right, was set at 39.9 seconds by Romain Dumas in 2019, driving Volkswagen. I mean, hundreds of billions of dollars behind this company. Their IDR electric race car, which in turn had beat a record held for 20 years by F1 driver Nick Heidfeld driving a V10 McLaren F1 car from the 1998 season. Now, that car, that F1 V10 would have been an absolute animal to drive. Nick Heidfeld setting that record, the amount of balls to do that and to not, this is a difficult track. If you crash, you crash. It's not like you crash and go, oh, that's okay, I'll just walk away. That would have been a big crash. So driving that thing would have been an absolute beast to handle. Now, the full video shows an insane amount of speed from this car. And it shows you, really, the future of motorsport is here. And it doesn't, my friends, it does not include internal combustion. Think about this, right? If there was two different events, right? And there is right now. But if we put the amount of money that we're putting into F1 electric vehicles, those electric vehicles would just destroy F1. It would not be even remotely close. This proves it. In the first few seconds, the car launches as if from a slingshot. It did 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1.5 seconds. And the crazy thing is, right, there are engineers who've made YouTube videos going into all the science, right, on how it's actually not possible to do 1.5 seconds in a street legal vehicle from 0 to 60 miles an hour. There's some famous YouTube so-called engineering experts who claim that that wouldn't be possible. Well, these backyard experts have just proven that they're wrong. And the thing is, this is not a drag strip. This is a racetrack, but it's not a prep drag strip. So the fact that it did that time is absolutely ludicrous. Now, the weird thing is, it sounds really loud. And you're probably thinking, why does it sound loud? Aren't EVs supposed to be quiet? And well, you're right. In fact, the thing's even got an exhaust coming out of the back, which is pretty bizarre. However, the vehicle is a fully electric powertrain, just like Volkswagen's vehicle. But it's added an additional technology that motorsport hasn't seen in quite a while. It's a fan car. Fan cars work by having low side skirts and a fan underneath the car which draws air up and pushes it out of the rear of the car, creating a vacuum underneath the car. This results in incredibly efficient downforce without the downside of drag that a large spoiler or other aerodynamic surface often creates. And as a result, fan cars can go faster with less drag and take corners at higher speeds than other vehicles that rely on traditional aerodynamic surfaces. Fan cars first appeared in motorsport in the 1970s with the Chaparral 2J, a boxy monstrosity which also ran at Goodwood. And you can see that car as well in Gran Turismo, which competed in 1970 but was outlawed due to its obscene aerodynamic advantages. Later, Brabham bought a fan car to F1 in 1978 and won its first race by a huge margin, but the concept was immediately banned from competition there. It gave an unfair advantage, apparently. Now, the McMurtry Spieling produces more than 2,000 kilos of downforce on a 1,000 kilo vehicle. Unlike traditional aerodynamic surfaces, this doesn't scale with speed. It's available at any speed due to the fan's operation. This means the McMurtry has more downforce at 0 miles per hour than an F1 car produces, even at 150 miles per hour. Now, personally, I think these kinds of evolutions are great. I love seeing technical revolution. The thing with motorsport is there's always a reason to ban new technology. Gives an unfair advantage. Ban it. No, I don't like that. Their wing is more aerodynamic than ours. Ban it. That happens all the time in F1. In my view, it's stopped innovation to some degree. Now, interestingly, this is not the only record held by an EV at Goodwood. The McMurtry Spieling is the fastest car of any type to conquer the hill climb. There was already one electric car that beat every other car up the hill, and that record was set by a stock Nissan Leaf in 2012. It did the fastest Goodwood run ever in reverse. Because EV motors run just as well in reverse as in forward gear, all Nissan had to do was remove the software speed limiter on the reverse gear. They did a run in reverse at 55 miles per hour, average speed all the way up the course. Now, obviously, it was a kind of a silly record, right? Driving in reverse, it's pretty impressive to drive 55 miles an hour in reverse. I've tried driving faster reverse. It's not all that easy. But the point was made, right? Electric vehicles do have advantages. Remember when you drive in reverse, right? And you go, and you can't go any faster than a certain speed because there's only the one gear. Well, in your electric car, you're not constrained by the same gearbox constraints that internal combustion engines are when you're in reverse. While this is McMurtry's first record, it might not be their last. Volkswagen took their IDR on to set several records, including the EV record at the Nürburgring and the overall record at the famously brutal Pikes Peak hill climb. EVs are basically taking all the records that internal combustion engine vehicles held dear and just smashing them. Now, incredibly, the IDR, the Volkswagen electric vehicle, lapped the Nürburgring in 6 minutes and 5 seconds. For those of you unaware, the IDR actually has a pretty small battery pack. It's only a 43 kilowatt hour pack, and it has 2 electric motors capable of 680 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. And it can do 0 to 60 time of 2.25 seconds. What does this all mean, right? Well, the Nürburgring, right, it's a long track. It's about 21 kilometers long. And frankly, the truth is, this car is pretty gutless in comparison to the motors in the Tesla Model S Plaid. Take the motors out of the Model S Plaid, put those into the IDR, put maybe a higher energy density, more efficient energy pack into a car of this size, you're going to find electric cars will just destroy these records we're seeing today. That's going to happen very, very soon. And that's why I find all of this so interesting and exciting. As this technology improves at such a rapid rate, we're going to see what Dodge said. What did Dodge say, right? Dodge said we have reached the limits of internal combustion engines capacity. That's coming from the foremost muscle car brand in the world, right? They love engines, they love the noise, and they themselves said they're finished. Now, for those of you wondering, The Nürburgring lap record was actually set by Timo Bernhard in a Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo with an impressive 5 minutes and 19-second time. That's insane. I've driven the Nürburgring many times in Gran Turismo, and you know what? Even driving at a rate of 6 minutes 30 is ludicrous. Your reaction time has to be absolutely insane. I don't know how they were able to do that. Now, getting back to the point of this video, electric vehicles are so much faster than internal combustion engine vehicles. And we're only at the very beginnings of what the future holds for electric race cars. And not only electric race cars, but, just basic, simple electric sports cars, which are going to be commonplace within the next 4 or 5 years. I made a video about one of the exciting electric sports cars, affordable ones coming soon. I'll put a link in the description below. Check out that video. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Am I right? Wrong? I'm only one person, and maybe I missed some facts which are worth pointing out. So let me know in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Bye-bye.